Down.
Do the pledge first and then this?
Or somebody tried to avoid a pothole.
Yeah, I mean, but then do the moment silence after.
Yeah, you want me to?
Some of the potholes in town.
It was at DI Saturday. A lot of things. Ready? Sent to you.
Oh, yeah?
Mr. Hill, call the roll.
Mrs. Cruson.
Here.
Mr. Harris.
Here.
Mr. McDonald.
Here.
Mrs. McFerrin.
Here.
Mr. Sapko.
Here.
All stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Yes, you want to introduce him? Heather's going to.
Oh, maybe not.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Whitby.
Mrs. Whipke, would you like to introduce our...
Oh, sure.
They were all prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can introduce.
Go ahead.
My name is Carrie Burns. My name is Elizabeth Burns.
And what grade?
6th, 3rd.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Good job.
Good job.
Okay, we'd like to observe a moment of silence for the passing of Jenny Stickle and Bill Brenner.
I want to welcome everyone to our, is this March now? Yes, our March meeting.
Madness.
Thank you for all coming out. Hopefully this is the last of our cold weather and we're going to have a warm spring and everybody's anticipating the coming summer, so thank you for coming out.
Okay, real quick before I start changes, I just want to mention if we happen to still be in here at 6:30, a helicopter will be landing on the football stadium. They're doing some kind of practice drill tonight. So, okay, changes to the agenda, deletions, corrections, additions. I do have some changes, actually additions. 11, I want to go ahead and add the contract amounts for these employees.
Okay.
So for Chris Corby, his annual salary is $68,675. And then I'm adding B for him, which is an administrative contract. Again, for Chris Corby, it'll be the 2-year, and that's to be the online and credit recovery administrator, which we had talked a lot about the online school,
Right.
and we'll be moving forward this year because now we've got the new product in place, and that will be for $1,500. And then 12A, Mr. Morehouse, when we get to his, if he's approved, the rate will be, the first one will be $283.57, which is his per diem rate, and that'll be for the 23 days that he's overlapping while he's shadowing Mr. Hill. And then 13A then for his contract would be a salary of $72,000 per year.
Good.
Okay, so item 3, motion to accept the minutes and the treasurer's report. So items A and B.
Motion. Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Mrs. McFerrin.
Yes.
Mrs. Cruson.
Yes.
Mr. Harris.
Yes.
Mr. McDonald.
Yes.
Mr. Sapko.
Yes.
4, motion to approve the following. It's resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. There's backup material.
Motion.
Second. Discussion?
This is something that we do every year, amounts and rates. Not a lot of big surprises there. The values have gone up a little bit, but not substantially. That's pretty much it.
Call the roll.
Mr. Sapko.
Yes.
Mr. McDonald.
Yes.
Mrs. Cruson.
Yes.
Mr. Harris.
Yes.
Mrs. McFerrin.
Yes.
Item 5, there are 4 agreements. The first one is with the Mahoney County ESC. This is just the general overarching agreement that we have for them, for their PD and all the services they provide. Second one is to manage the internal broadband Item C, internet access, and then D is a waiver to exceed the month span in a cross-categorical special education classroom from 60 to 66 months.
Motion?
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll?
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Safco?
Yes.
Mrs. Cruzen?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mrs. McFerrin?
Yes.
Item 6 is motion to approve statewide open enrollment for the 2015-16 school year.
Motion. Second.
Discussion? Call the roll?
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Safco?
Yes.
Mrs. Cruzen?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mrs. McFerrin?
Yes.
7, motion to approve the following, it's our school calendar and then the 9-month non-certificated calendar.
Motion. Second.
Discussion? Does everybody have a copy of the calendar?
I don't think the public does, no.
Okay.
We have a start date of August 24th.
24th.
First day
Yeah,
of class.
24th, and
I
then
know
we're
it's been
done
out to
in May.
staff for a while, a month.
And then we're done in, start August 24th, and we're done in
Is
May.
it in front?
That's right.
Yep.
Anyone like to see the calendar before they vote? Anyone?
No? Okay.
Okay.
As was said, start date's August the 24th for students, and the last day of class will be the 26th of May. Correct?
And I think we should note that, or let the public know that the staff did look over it, and they also were part of the decision
Right. Every,
to start early.
right, they all voted.
Yes, they all voted.
Okay. Call the roll?
Mrs. McFerrin?
Yes.
Mrs. Cruzen?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Safco?
Yes.
Okay, 8, motion to approve our comprehensive school safety plan, and you all have copies of that.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll?
Mr. Safco?
Yes.
Mrs. McFerrin?
Yes.
Mrs. Cruzen?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
9, motion to approve the following resignation, and that's for Val Higgins, our bus driver. Retirement, I'm sorry.
Motion?
Second.
Discussion? Mr. Hill, you know how long?
Over 20 years, maybe close to 25. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't look that up. But
Well, on behalf of the board, I really want to appreciate and tell her, or tell Higgins that we're very happy and hope that the retirement is what they expect, so. Call the roll?
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Safco?
Yes.
Mrs. Cruzen?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mrs. McFerrin?
Yes.
Now, I also would like to say that Val, just knowing that some of our coaches and stuff, when I was a coach, really appreciated her. I know that the students, the players, they've all, respected her. And so, for her service, I'd like to also tell her a big thanks.
Okay, 10, motion to approve the following. It's the non-renewal of the following supplemental positions at the close of their duties. Basically all of our winter sports. So that's items 1 through 21.
Motion.
Second. Discussion? Call the roll?
Mr. Safco?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mrs. Cruzen?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mrs. McFerrin?
Yes.
Item 11, A and B, are in regards to Chris Corby. The first one is a 2-year administrative contract to be the principal of the junior-senior high school, so August of 2015 through 17, and then the administrative contract for the online credit recovery administrator.
Motion. Second.
Second.
Tied? Discussion? Mr. Corby, I think you can tell based upon that we're really thrilled to have you back. and looking forward to working with you. Call the roll.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Safco?
Yes.
Mrs. Cruzen?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mrs. McFerrin?
Yes.
Mr. Corby, I also want to say, excellent job. Keep it up. Good job.
12, administrative contract for Tom Morehouse is for the month time period July 15th through July 31st. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble reading tonight. 1st, 2015. I know, through July, as the deputy treasurer.
Motion. Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Mrs. McFerrin?
Yes.
Mrs. Cruzen?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Safco?
Yes.
13 would be to grant Tom Morehouse an administrative contract, 3 years as treasurer, August 1st, 2015 through July 31st, 2018.
Motion?
Second.
Discussion? Mr. Morehouse, on behalf of the board, we're really thrilled to have you and looking forward to working with you and looking for great things in Sebring School District. So,
Thank you very much. I look forward to the opportunity very greatly. Thank you.
call the roll.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Safco?
Yes.
Mrs. Cruzen?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mrs. McFerrin?
Yes.
14 is to grant a one-year limited contract for the 15-16 school year for Sarah Martyr as a senior high teacher, and she hasn't made it yet.
Motion?
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mrs. Cruzen?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mrs. McFerrin?
Yes.
Mr. Safco?
Yes.
15 is a one-year supplemental contract for the 14-15 school year at the current salary schedule for Evelyn Woods as the assistant softball coach.
Motion.
Second? Discussion? Call the roll.
Mr. Safco?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mrs. Cruzen?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mrs. McFerrin?
Yes.
16 is permission to the American Legion Post 76 to use our football stadium on Saturday, April 4th for their annual Easter egg hunt.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mrs. McFerrin?
Yes.
Mrs. Cruzen?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Safco?
Yes.
17 comments from SLEA. Okay. Before we move into public comments, I have a few comments. One is a congratulations to our academic challenge team. They came in second place this year. Team members are George Clark, Kyle Yeomans, Amber Barnes, Brandon Dare, and Shane Dawson. I would also like to thank the SLEA and administration for providing the community dinner on Monday, March 9th. And then just in items as far as discussion from the last meeting, when we talked about our website, I had Fred contact the company we're currently with. I forget, I think it was one of you guys that mentioned how we called them. They are going to meet the price that the other company had. And they have since revamped their website that includes everything that this website was going to offer. We just don't have those products. And they did apologize for that. They said somewhere in their company they dropped the ball and that they should have been in communication with us. They guaranteed me that they would make sure that someone communicates with us in the future. And they are also going to redesign our website at no cost.
Oh.
So,
Wow.
so that was a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So,
And that's on the all-call, I mean, everything, right?
wow, they all call that piece I'm still going to have to work on.
You are?
We're going to come up with
Yeah.
something for that, yeah.
Yeah, they said that they have a system, I think it's called One Call, and I know some schools use One Call, I don't know anything about it, but they said they would get us that also at a reduced rate, so provide access.
Good job.
Thank you. Comments from the public?
Anybody? Anybody? Please speak up. It's a beautiful day.
That's why.
Okay. 19 then would be a motion to move to executive. Oh yeah, items worthy of your note. Emma Holodnik and DeMonte McMullen have been selected as the Elks Teenager of the Month for February. And then board policy, you have those in your packet. I think I need to have Betty move those up.
Yeah.
Because I kind of want to miss those. So executive session then.
Motion?
Second?
Mr. Harris, was that you making the motion? Or
Yes.
oh, okay.
To go into executive session.
Sorry.
I was on the same page.
Discussion? Call the roll?
Mr. Harris,
Yes.
Mr. McDonald,
Yes.
Mrs. Prusen,
Yes.
Mrs. McFerrin,
Yes.
Mr. Sapp.
Yes.
And just so the public's aware, there may be action after the executive session, so.
Over the administration office. Yeah. Are we going over there?
And Rob, too.